Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got March Jeep news. We know it's late in the month, but we're holding out for some exciting stuff. It's almost April, but hey guys, Jeep is back to their roots. We've got Gladiator changes, we've got new colors, we've got future of the EV, we've got special edition Grand Wagoneer, return of the V8, and a virtual showroom, and a lot more. We got a lot to unpack, so let's dive right in. We've all noticed Jeep has made some major changes in the recent past. For the positive, Stellantis in general, we're seeing a lot of great changes, a lot of positivity, and I think a lot of it really started to the general public when it was the time for the Super Bowl commercial. Not only do they have two commercials in the Super Bowl, but the one, if you don't know it, you're living under a rock. Talks about freedom, freedom to move, patriotism, just a really, really good commercial. Kicking off after that, most recently, Jeep revealed a video called Jeep People. They have a customer here named Annie. I'll put the link of the video up here. But it's great. There's no talk of EV. There's no pushing electrification down our throats. There's no real sales pitch. It's what does Jeep mean to this consumer who's had Jeep in their family for over 50 years. It goes back multiple decades. It's a great video. It's a feel-good video. And I think they're realizing that these are the people that have made Jeep who they are. These are the people who believe in them and who have stuck by the brand through thick and through thin lately. These are the loyal people. And I really think we're going back to the roots with a lot of things, and you're going to probably agree as we move forward. But I really hope that Jeep continues this Jeep People series. I know I love to tell my story, and I'm sure thousands of you guys would love to do the same. So check out Jeep's channel on that. Really cool stuff. Let's talk about the Jeep Gladiator. Guys, the Jeep Gladiator has been out for a number of years. The Wrangler's due for a mid-cycle refresh. I think the Gladiator is due for that as well. But let's think about it for a minute. The Gladiator has been basically a spin-off of the Wrangler. It's a Wrangler with a truck bed on it. So it really is, if you people who don't like Wranglers kind of maybe don't like a Gladiator because it's the same look. We talked previously in a video about the Gladiator 4xe that's been coming out. Well, it's been talked about coming out for a while. We talk about some speculation of what we can expect there. But until it's on the road, I don't necessarily know what to expect. You know, we've talked about the Ram bringing the small mid-size truck back. Will the Gladiator stay as a spin-off, if you will, of the Wrangler or a Wrangler platform vehicle? Or will it become its own? You know, there's so many great concepts of the Gladiator. In fact, when we were at SEMA numerous times, we saw granted, some were concepts, some were third party, but the Gladiator really could have its own personality. There's been buzz going around that will the Gladiator be a spinoff and be its own separate vehicle? Will it not look like a Wrangler? Will it have its own legs to stand on? So I'm curious, what would you like to see? Would you like to see a Gladiator be a whole new truck, its own thing? From a tooling standpoint, manufacturing standpoint, I'm sure it makes perfect sense to not do that. But I am curious. Rumor is that the V8 5.7 liter might come into the Gladiator. How about an affordable V8 in the Gladiator? So we're going to talk about the V8 in a few minutes, but the word V8 and Hemi are no longer swear words to Stellantis anymore. It's really good news. And we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Hemi here in a second. But back to the Gladiator. What are your thoughts? Should it stay as a Jeep Wrangler truck? I know it's not what it is, or should it be its own separate line? The Gladiator is a great vehicle. It's had its hurdles in sales. Every time they put more money on it or there's a rebate, the sales go up. So it kind of tells you if they find that price point, I think the Gladiator is going to be a better sale. So let's talk about colors. Jeep has always been really good about having these vibrant, bold, fun, exciting colors. I mean, as long as I can remember, back TJ and even the YJ, the bright yellow, the Islander, Jeep has done a great job with color. The other thing they do a great job with is they give us this color and everyone falls in love with it and they yank it away. So nope, sorry, it's been discontinued. But then it's gonna be a few years and it's coming back. I mean, we've seen it. History repeats itself with Jeep, so you know that's going to be a thing. It's kind of smart. They create the buzz again. But they just released, and we talked about it in a previous video, they released two new colors, well, at least one new color, and brought back one new color. So the Mojito Green is back. And then the new one is called Juice. It's Juice Orange. I think it's sharp. I think if any vehicle can get away with these fun colors, it's definitely Jeep, and it's definitely the Wrangler and or Gladiator. You've got, Tuscadero, you got the Mojito Green, you got the pumpkin. There's so many great colors. If you remember, the one back was called like Rock Lobster or something like that. Lobster Red. It was like this tint of red orange, very unique color. That'd be one to bring back, Jeep, if you're listening. You haven't brought that one back yet. But fun new colors are out. You can order them. They're ready to go. So what's your favorite color? Let us know. So let's talk about Jeep patents. We teased in a previous video about Jeep doing drone technology for off-road, where these drones will actually drive your vehicle. Well, I'll put the video up here. You can look at that. But there's a lot of patents that Jeep has recently applied for or now takes ownership of. And I'm wondering, does Jeep take these patents out just to keep them under their thumb so Ford or competitive vehicles can't grab this stuff, or these actual plans to do things with, or maybe both? They put these things in their vault, and then when they're ready, we already own the patents. But there are a few things I do find interesting. The one that really stands out to me, and they've been teasing it for a while, is this modular hardtop. Now, if you think about it, the hardtop has been around since the early dawn of the Wrangler. The first Wrangler ever obviously had this turtle shell of a hardtop. And if you really think from the 80s till 86 till now, the hardtop hasn't changed. Okay, yes, we've gotten Freedom panels, but from the Freedom panels back, it hasn't changed at all. And it's 2025, and we still have this big cumbersome top with the glass panels, and we take it off, and people store them. You put the lifts in your garage. I mean, there's countless things that are hurdles with the hardtop. So it's kind of naive to think that this is just going to continue forever. So Jeep's been teasing this modular hardtop. It almost looks like it would come off in pieces, much like the Freedom panel would, but maybe it comes off in enough sections that it just stacks up behind the back seat of the Jeep, or maybe it goes into these bags like we have the Freedom panels and it's easy to store. I don't know, but I think it's a really good idea. I just hope it's leak free, to be honest with you, but that's an interesting patent that we've been teased. The other patent we're seeing is there's these wind deflectors that go out by the driver's door when your doors are off, but top is on. I mean, I don't know. At some point, I guess it gets that resonance noise in the Jeep. At some point, I get it. Okay, they've given us something, but take the doors off, take the top off. Don't worry about that. It's a freedom of being the open air. It will be interesting to see. Will we see solar panels on top of EVs? Will there be a different style retractable roof? The other one I've seen is there's a tease of putting side airbags in the doors that just still remain removable, through a wire harness or something like that. So I'm curious to see mostly, where is this hardtop going? Because again, it would be naive to think that this hardtop is just not going to change forever. So we'll see what happens. So let's talk about Jeep and electric vehicles and Jeep's EV. So the first ever electric vehicle Jeep for us in the States was the Wagoneer S. We did a video on it. Guys, this Wagoneer S has been a home run. The dealerships cannot keep them in stock. Now, there are two sides to this. The launch edition, granted, Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, they've dealer traded for 3 or 4 more than they've sold 10 of these things. Stellantis did put a thing out for their employees. The employees could lease one of these things very, very inexpensively. Couple $100 a month, 10, 12,000 mile lease, very inexpensive lease. Now, I think that was a great idea. You get your employees excited about it. You get the people at the dealerships excited about it. You get those who are working on them excited about it. And then the sales come. But that happened. A bunch of people I know that work for Stellantis or dealerships purchase them. They love them. But aside from that, these things are selling. They're moving good. I think they've been really positive. Yes, we've seen some issues with it. The new crab light or lobster light. We'll talk about that in another video. But overall, I think people are really receptive to it. I think generally speaking, the issues have been pretty minor. You're always to expect a few bugs and hurdles on a first vehicle, especially something with all this kind of technology. Overall, this Wagoneer S has been a home run. Following right behind it is the Recon. So full electric Recon, think big brother to a Wrangler. Doors are going to be removable. My understanding is it will be full EV, but I guess rumor is there's going to be a gas engine Recon following it. So I'm curious, what's your thoughts on the Recon? Do you think that it will be a home run as much as the Wagoneer was? The Wagoneer is definitely a different line. It's luxury. It's, again, I still think that should have been under Chrysler's nameplate as an Airflow. So close to an Airflow. They should have given that one to Chrysler. I love it's a Jeep. I love Jeep. I love all the products, but that shouldn't fall under Chrysler in my opinion. But let's see what follows up with this Recon. Thinking of the Recon, we've got the Jeep Avenger. Now the Jeep Avenger is a full EV that we didn't have in the States, and we don't have in the States. My understanding is it doesn't necessarily meet all the maybe safety requirements that we have here. But I also understand that Jeep has applied for some patents circling around this Jeep Avenger. I think if this Jeep Avenger comes in at a good price point of, you know, low 20s, maybe it compares with a Trax, or I know it's not EV, but maybe it compares with an inexpensive EV, could be a real home run. And I think it'll be interesting to see if this Avenger really lands here in the States. We've talked about this Avenger in multiple Jeep News videos, and we just kind of keeping track of it. For whatever it's worth, it just seems to always get a little closer and closer to a reality. So what's your thought on the EV lineup? 600 plus horsepower in that Jeep Wagoneer S. I mean, it's got power and it's fun. Do you think it'd be fun to off-road in a full EV Recon, quiet with all that instant torque? Could be pretty awesome. All right, let's talk about the Hemi, the V8. That was a swear word for a long time. Final edition Wranglers, that happened twice. The last call final edition TRX because it's gone. No more Hemis in the Ram trucks 1500s. No more Hemis in the Chargers and Challengers. I mean, you name it. It was the thing. No Hemi's gone. It's gone. It's gone. If you want one, get it now. Last call. Guys, unfortunately, I get there's been a lot of change, but I don't trust a last call anything Stellantis anymore. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't. Sounds negative. Fortunately, I didn't. I did buy my Ram TRX, thinking that the Hemi was going away, and I really wanted one. Fortunately, I didn't buy the last call, and I didn't pay extra for a last call. So there's that. But I guess at the end of the day, the good news is the Hemi is back. We've got a lot to talk about on the Hemi. We're not going to unpack it all in this video, but we know the Hemi 392. Guys, that Wrangler is amazing. Not everyone wants a $100,000 Wrangler. So will they put a lesser Wrangler together with a V8? There's talk of the Gladiator getting a V8. Right now, what we know is that the Dodge Charger EV is going to get the six-pack, they're calling it, the Hurricane motor. So that one's going to come out pretty quickly here. My understanding is in May that we're going to start seeing the gas six-cylinder Chargers. Now, what they're also saying is we're going to see the Hemi back in the Charger shortly after. So I'm curious, if you were going to buy a Charger and EV was out, let's just leave EV out of this, EV Charger, we've beaten that to death, and we've got another video on a full review of the EV Charger. If you were going to buy a Charger and you're waiting for the gasoline one, are you going to pick up the six-pack, six-cylinder one? Or are you going to pick up the new Hemi one? Or is it going to depend on what that price is? Is the six-cylinder one going to be at a lower price point and the Hemi one going to be higher? I would think it would have to be. But I'm curious, are you waiting for that Charger to come out with the Hemi? Everything I say, most people love the look. Whether you hate EV or not, most people love the look of that Charger. It is awesome. The interior is an absolute home run. Even if you don't love EV, people are loving the car. Put a Hemi in that thing, oh my gosh, it's gonna be good. Speaking of Hemi, rumor is, well, maybe not rumor is, but what do you think? Will we see the Hemi back in the Grand Cherokee? Will we see another Trackhawk? Will we see another just normal Hemi Grand Cherokee? Will we see a Hemi Grand Wagoneer? I kind of think so. If you're going to do it, why not give it all? I guess time will tell. So the other thing we have to talk about is the Wagoneer Overland Limited Edition. Guys, over my shoulder is a concept that came out a few years ago about the Wagoneer and basically being this overlanded vehicle. If you followed SEMA, if you've been to the Chicago Auto Show, you'll see one similar to it with the tents on it, the big tires, you know, more the aggressive wheels, aggressive cladding. It screams, take me off road, you know, like I want to be dirty, you know. As of right now, you can order a Wagoneer Overland limited vehicle. They're going to be super limited as far as quantities. Some dealers are only getting a handful. I think there's only a few hundred of these things made. But if this is something that triggers you, this thing's pretty hot. So it's going to come with 32-inch all-terrain tires, 20-inch aluminum wheels, silver front tow hooks. It's going to have a different lower fascia, black exterior badges. This one's going to come with skid plates. They're going to be blacked out headlights and taillights. You're going to have roof rail crossbars and a black accent roof. Interior, you're going to have Napa leather seats and all-weather floor mats. And then optional, there'll be air suspension, a 2-speed transfer case with a rock mode and a 4-low, and a tri-pane sunroof, 360-degree cameras, and heavy trailer towing. Now, I believe the MSRP on this is going to be low 70s. I'm not 100% sure, but check it out. If you're interested in like the overland luxury big, I kind of think like Toyota Land Cruiser style thing. I think this is going to be cool, and I think they're not going to make a ton of them. So if that's your jam, check out Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and see if they can order you one. Let's talk about the virtual showroom real quick. So last week, Dodge released this virtual showroom, and I'll put a link for it in the description actually. And it's actually really cool. I mean, this is more than just I'm checking out the colors or going to a website and building a car. Like, you can immerse yourself with the car. And right now, what's on the car is the Dodge Daytona EV. But it gets really technical. You can actually, like, you just gotta see it. Like, I'm really impressed. Like, it's crazy to think what the technology we have to dive into a vehicle like this and like feel like you're actually there. So check out, I'll leave the link in the description. Check out the virtual showroom. And I'm curious, we know Dodge can do it. I would love to see this kind of thing with like all new product launches. It gives technical data, you know, for guys like me who just want to get into the details and really understand it. Technical stuff. It talks all about the drive system. I mean, you can really explore it. And then, of course, at the end, you can build it and you can make it yours and price them out and all that kind of stuff, obviously, just like you can on the website. But this interactive showroom is really cool. And Dodge, Stellantis, if you're listening, I would continue that. That should be part of bringing a vehicle to market. It really should. So guys, that's your Jeep news update for this month. If something earth-shattering comes out, we will definitely be back before the month's up. You know that. What do you think? If they come out with a V8 Gladiator or a V8 Grand Cherokee, would you buy it? What about the 6-cylinder Charger? You're going to wait for that, or you're going to buy the V8 Charger? Or are you an EV guy? Comment below. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure.